My trip to the future has not turned out to be such a great adventure. Ever since that day the bombs fell, my life has been turned upside down and ripped apart before my eyes. Vault-Tec helped us that day, made us feel safe and comfortable even as the bombs were falling. Was it all in their great plan to make us feel safe right before they use us in their experiments? I was the only one to survive the cryo chambers. I was the sole survivor. And as the sole survivor, I got to see everyone I love die. I'm not even sure if this is even real. It seems like a nightmare, all twisted and wrong. The museum would be my next stop. The man on the balcony needed my help. Let's see if I could actually be useful to someone. It was like walking into a war zone. Hell, this was a war zone. I could hear the gunfire all around. I was at a big disadvantage. They had the high ground, and all I could do was run for cover. I remember this place before the bombs. This was not the place I used to visit when I was younger. It was different, all twisted, like a horror movie, but one I was living in. This was not my world. What happened to my world? I crawled my way through the back rooms of the museum. I had a slight advantage. I knew this place. I'd been here many times before. I knew I could flank the attackers. And I did. I got the first shot, hitting her in the back. I knew it was a fatal wound, but it would not put her down straight away. She moved towards me, running into the room and opening fire. She got in a shot, but it only grazed my arm, and then my reflexes took over, and I ended her before she would get another shot. I moved out of the room and spotted another attacker above me. He had not seen me once again. Luck was on my side. I got 3 good shots in, hitting him in the back. He fell to the floor below with a thud, but still the gunfire continued. The man from the balcony was doing a good job distracting the attackers, giving me the chance to sneak up and hit them from behind. The dog reminded me I did not loot one of the attackers, and what a find, a shotgun made from pipe. I was directly below another attacker. I could not see her, but I could hear her shouting insults at the man on the balcony. Give up now. I found some more ammo and a rusty weapon in a case. I grabbed them and then moved on. And there it was. I'd made a mistake, forgetting to make sure zombies would not have a chance to get behind me. I could not risk being flanked. I put it down and then remembered the other attacker I killed who hit the floor behind the gate. I wanted to make sure it would not have the opportunity to get behind me as well. So I picked the lock and headed back to finish the zombie.
Got it.
I sneaked through the gate and got a headshot in on the zombie, shuffling around the other side.
Why do they always gotta fight back?
There was a lot of commotion coming from above. And then there she was, the attacker from above had fallen down, but still she did not notice me. She would not get the chance. With her falling to the floor, the gunfire stopped. The museum fell silent. This was more like the museum I knew from before, but still wrong. All wrong. I had a good chance now to have a look around. I decided to head down to the basement. I wanted to make sure there was nothing down there. I didn't want to get flanked when I decided to head upstairs. I found a computer terminal and a locked door. I was not sure if I really wanted in, but maybe there would be something of use on the other side. I found a generator for the building, but more importantly, another fusion core. These things are very useful. But pulling out the core plunged the building into darkness. If it was not for the hole in the roof, I would not be able to see anything. I told you this place was wrong. A skull on a table was starting to feel normal. I could hear something around the corner, and that made me stop in my tracks. There must be more of those attackers around. But I had a plan to get the upper hand. And would you know it, the canister still had gas in it. The canister went off with a large bang. I had not killed the attackers, I could still hear them, but I must have put the fear of God into them.
Show your face! Come on.
As they come running down the corridor, they seemed dazed and confused, but this only aided me in putting them down easily. Once I was happy the noise was not bringing more attackers, I moved into the room ahead, looting the dead as I passed. The room, like the rest of the building, was in ruins. It was so sad to see this place destroyed. It would never be the same again. There was some more ammo in a bag, and apart from that find, the room was empty. I wanted to move on, but was also worried about the 2 dead bodies. As I went to leave, the first of the dead rose. I put a bullet in its head, and then decided to put a bullet in the other one too. I was happy I could move on now. But how I was wrong. How is this happening? I blew its brains out, it should already be dead. Apparently a bullet in their head is not good enough unless they've already turned. This was good to find out now though. I moved on through the museum, but I had not done taking out the attackers. There was 2 more, trying to knock down the door. But all the noise I created downstairs was enough to draw their attention away from the other survivors. But I had the perfect surprise for them both. The fire hit the door and burned the attacker as he walked through. I fired a few shots, but the fire did its job well. The second attacker ran towards me with only a stick as a weapon. That was the last mistake he would ever make. I had a look around the top floor, finding nothing of interest, apart from the fresh zombie corpses now walking around. I was getting used to putting these things down, but I knew that if I ever got attacked by more than a couple of them, I could be in trouble. I would always need to be on my guard. The people behind the door were led by a man called Preston, and he had one hell of a story to tell me.
I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Nah, that ain't...
Glad to help.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill.
Maybe?
As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Nope. God damn it.
Who are these people?
Just folks looking for a new home, a fresh start. I've been with them since Quincy. Lexington looked good for a while, but the ghouls drove us out of there. A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5. It's just me, the Longs, Marcy and June. That's old Mama Murphy on the couch. And this here is Sturgis.
Hey.
Sorry. Sounds rough.
Thanks.
Maybe?
It's good to meet someone who really cares. Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle. Those raiders proved us wrong. But, well, we do have one idea.
Will it be enough to stop those maniacs?
Sturgis, tell him.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school. Pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor. Military issue.
That's some serious protection.
Oh, it gets better. Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the vertibird. Do that, and those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
Minigun. Now we're talking.
I know, right? Only there's one hitch. The suit's out of juice. Probably been dry for 100 years. It can be powered up again. But we're a bit stuck.
So, what's the solution?
What you'll need is an old pre-war FC. A standardized fusion core. Your high-grade, long-term nuclear battery used by the military and some companies way back when. And we know right where to find one.
But we can't get to the damn thing. It's down in the basement. Locked behind a security gate. Look, I fix stuff. I tinker. Bypassing security ain't exactly my forte. You could give it a shot.
Actually, I already grabbed the fusion core. We're set.
Well, all right. Maybe our luck's finally turning around. Once you jack the core into the power armor and grab that minigun, those raiders will know they picked the wrong fight. Good luck.
Now look who dog meat brought to us.
He's a good dog. Smart, too.
Oh, indeed. Dog meat's good at finding folks who need him, and he'll stick by you now. I saw it.
You saw it?
It's the P.A.M.S, kid. They give old Mama Murphy the sight. Been that way for as long as I can remember.
What's the sight?
I can see a bit of what was and what will be, and even what is right now. And right now, I can see there's something coming, drawn by the noise and the chaos. And it is angry.
What is it? Mama Murphy, I need more, please.
I'm sorry, kid, but I just don't know. The sight ain't always clear, but believe me when I tell you, it ain't a raider. But I'm tired now. And if I ain't mistaken, you've got a job to do.
You're with the rescue team?
Meeting these people revealed to me some things of interest. They called these attackers raiders, maybe a faction or a clan.
There are more of you, right?
My new dog companion has a name, Dogmeat, and he was known to that strange lady. But mainly there are other survivors, and not all will shoot me on sight. And these people seem worse off than me, if that is possible. I was not sure if I'd hit my head, or the adrenaline was starting to take over, but since picking up that toy bobblehead, things just seemed a little bit clearer to me. And there it was, just as Sturgis had said, and it was a thing of beauty. Again, the gunfire started, and this time they were shooting at me. I got into the power arm as fast as I could, and I could not wait to deliver my own fiery rain down on these raiders. I picked up the minigun as I passed, and had time to get my bearings.
Why don't you get down here? Show me that
And look
trash
down
you
at the
got.
streets below.
Not a lot of people can get past my door.
It was dark and hard to see the raiders, but night would not save them, not from me. I'd already decided I would not stay on the roof for long, so I had one final look around for scrap before I would commence the slaughter.
Come on, I got places to...
The raiders had foolishly tried to sneak up on me. They would never have the chance to make these mistakes again. As long as they would keep running straight towards me, I was able to fill them full of bullets. And the fools just kept coming. The fear I should be feeling was not there. I was being taken over with a desire to rid this place of these foul raiders. Maybe this desire made me foolish, as I jumped down to the street level to hunt the last of the raiders down. They kept firing at me, but the bullets just bounced off my steel shell, and I returned them with interest. They all fell before me. But then there was a noise like a growl. We were no longer alone. Maybe Mama Murphy was right. Something big was coming. I kept tearing through the raiders with no remorse. And then there it was, the thing that would fill me full of dread to this very day. A creature so large and with claws like knives. If I had not been in this armor, I would already be dead. Today was a lucky day, meeting this thing just minutes after finding this armor. I offloaded enough bullets to stop a tank, and finally it fell to the ground. But I had still not finished. Some raiders were still about. And once I had downed all of them, I would know I would still have to kill them all over again, as they turned. Why did these raiders not just run and forget this stupid plan? I would later find out the answer. These people spend most of their day high on homemade drugs. They probably felt superhuman right up until the minigun ripped them into pieces. Dogmeat was hurt. I hoped one of these stimpaks would get him back onto his feet, at least until I was able to dress the wound. Then, the job of taking down these zombies would start. and with the blood pumping so loud, making my ears throb, I had no fear, and walked down the street, shredding anything in front of me. I knew I would not be able to use this armor all the time. The power was already starting to drain from the core, but I would make the most of it now. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. I had just declared war on all raiders. Thank you once again for listening to my story. If you liked my tale, please like and subscribe, or leave a comment here or Facebook or on Twitter with all the links below. I am Shaun, insane in the game. This is the horror I'm trying to survive after the fallout, and I hope one day to see you all in the safe zone.